Congratulations! You've won the most rigged lottery in the history of existence.
No way.
Yeah, no way. The odds of you being here, breathing, and watching this video are so mathematically so low that realistically, you shouldn't even exist.
Why do you hate me so much?
But you do exist, and it all started because 13.8 billion years ago, the universe decided to stop being nothing and start being everything, all at once. For 9 billion years, it was a mess, total chaos, just stars exploding and heavy elements screaming through the vacuum. Then, a mediocre yellow star in a boring corner of the Milky Way caught a break. A clump of leftover stardust cooled down enough to be called Earth.
Yeah, let's go. We exist now. I've never seen something as beautiful as this Earth.
Don't be happy yet. This Earth we're talking about, it wasn't a paradise. It was a volcanic, toxic, lightning-struck nightmare. And then, the first miracle. In the crushing dark of the ocean floor, chemistry got weird. Molecules started copying themselves. This is Luca, the last universal common ancestor. It's a single cell. It's tiny, it's boring, and it is the great-grandfather of every single living thing you have ever seen. Welcome to the family.
No way. Now I have a family? But this guy doesn't look like my great-grandfather. He or she doesn't even look like a human. You're tripping, bro.
No shit, Sherlock. Do you expect the first existing creature to look as dumb as you? That too out of nowhere?
Okay, this is my grandfather. I get it now. Tell me what happened next.
For 2 billion years, life was just slime. It was the boring billion. But then, a group of bacteria called cyanobacteria invented a new trick: photosynthesis.
Why are you exaggerating? I know what photosynthesis is.
They started eating sunlight and farting out oxygen.
You made fart jokes. This ain't tough and big 2026, mate.
Shut the f up, Kelvin. Let me explain stuff to the audience.
Which audience are you talking about? They haven't even subscribed to you yet.
I'm sure they did. Right?
Continue, bro.
To everything else alive back then, oxygen was lethal. This was the first mass extinction. Most of life died, but our ancestors, they didn't just survive, they learned to use that oxygen as fuel. It was a massive energy upgrade. We went from slow slime to complex cells. We got a nucleus, we got mitochondria. We became the high-performance engines of the biological world.
Are these supposed to be my grandfather's intestines, or are these just noodles?
Do you ever shut up, Kelvin? 541 million years ago, nature lost its mind. This is the Cambrian explosion. It's like Earth went through a frantic experimental phase. We got Opabinia, a thing with 5 eyes and a vacuum hose face. We got hallucigenia, a spiked noodle that scientists couldn't even tell which way was up. Then, the biggest gamble of all, Tiktaalik, a fish that decided the water was too crowded and the land was free real estate. It did a push-up. It breathed air. It dragged itself into the mud. Every land animal, including you, is just a highly evolved version of that one fish that wanted to see what was over the next hill.
No way, bro. This fish isn't my grandfather.
It is, my friend.
I just ate salmon for lunch. Does that make me a cannibal then? Explain this, Sherlock.
In that case, eating any living creature makes you a cannibal, my friend.
I'm not a cannibal, bro.
Relax, you aren't, 'cause you haven't evolved yet.
What is that delete button? Can I press this?
No need for that. The almighty nature will do it itself.
What do you mean?
Earth tried to kill us repeatedly. 252 million years ago, the Permian extinction. 96% of all sea life deleted. 70% of land life gone. It was the Great Dying. But our ancestors, tiny burrowing synapsids, hunkered down and waited.
What about the dinosaurs then? Was it all lies because of the government?
Relax, Kevin. Then came the dinosaurs. They ruled for 165 million years. We were just snacks. Small, fuzzy, nocturnal snacks.
No, my great-grandfather was a good man.
What do you mean by that, Kevin? You hated this thing for almost the entire video, and now you're sorry for its death?
Bro, I miss him so much. Will he do a comeback?
Yes, absolutely. Then comes the ultimate deus ex machina. A 10-kilometer rock from space hit the Yucatan Peninsula. The dinosaurs were too big to hide and too specialized to adapt. They died. We, the tiny, shivering mammals in the dirt, inherited the Earth. We didn't win because we were better. We won because we were small enough to survive the apocalypse.
I guess sometimes tiny things do make a huge difference. I have to tell my ex to watch this video.
Why did you guys break up, though?
Stop, I'm crying again. Bro, you didn't tell me how we came up to look like this.
That's the first time that you've asked a good question. Now, the dinosaurs are gone. The world is a graveyard. But in the shadows, our ancestors, these tiny shrew-like mammals, saw an opportunity. With the giant lizards out of the way, we didn't just stay in the dirt. We looked up. We headed for the trees. For 50 million years, we perfected the tree life. We grew nail prints instead of claws. We developed 3D vision to judge distances between branches. We became primates. But then, the world changed again. Africa started drying up. The lush jungles began to shrink, turning into open grasslands, the savanna. This is the Great Divorce. One group of our ancestors stayed in the shrinking forests. They stayed in the trees, kept their fur, and doubled down on strength. They became the chimpanzees and bonobos, our closest living cousins. They chose the forest.
Okay, so this guy is my cousin. But why do I look like this? What happened to my real great-grandfather?
You mean our direct ancestors? We got kicked out. Or maybe we just got curious. We stepped into the tall grass. And because we couldn't see over the predators while crawling, we did something radical. We stood up.
Yeah? Standing up? What's so special about that?
Standing up was a nightmare for our backs, but a gold mine for our future. It freed our hands. And once those hands weren't busy walking, they started fiddling. We found rocks. We found fire. Fire meant we could cook. And cooking was the ultimate hack.
right.
Cooking unlocked massive calories. That energy fueled a brain that grew 3 times its original size in just a few million years. We traded our climbing skills for thinking skills. We stopped being the apex predator's lunch and started becoming the apex architect. So, here you are. You have the DNA of a fish, the grit of a shrew, and the curiosity of a primate that refused to stay in the trees. You are a 4 billion-year-old unbroken chain of survival. The universe spent eons trying to snuff out your light, and yet here you are, glowing.
That's it? But how is my existence almost impossible? You didn't tell me that.
Okay, Kelvin? You know that you're one of a billion sperms produced by your father, right?
You're right, but don't talk about my father like that.
Don't mind, I'm just explaining. You were 1 in a billion. Also, your father was 1 in a billion. Your grandfather, great-grandfather, and so on. I think you get the point.
Yeah, I get it, but what about my mother?
That makes the chances even lower. Your mother was 1 in a billion, and her parents were 2, and the list goes on. So now, these probabilities just multiplied and got to a point of impossibility. Now, just imagine what are the chances of you existing.
It's a miracle that I exist. Thank you. You gave me a new perspective. You're more than a friend to me.
The story of how we got here is over. The story of where we're going, that's up to you. Welcome to the new era. I have a lot more crazy videos coming up. You definitely don't want to miss them, so subscribe to Forging Human to live life like never before. See ya!